Took some time off my grind, wasn't feeling myself. I'm the best year round from the 1st to the 12th. Killing off all the snakes like the Mamba himself. Not listening to no cap, it's just bad for your health.
Oh, you don't listen to me? Guess what, I'm back season 3? I was dearly departed, but now that I'm back, I mean, let's get it started. No cap is my masterpiece, I am the artist. I rock a QC tape and I always mob it.
You don't listen to no cap, is you stupid or you deaf? Every single beat is cooked, you could come call me the chef. I don't care about your Instagram, we want money and respect. Hit them with a full court press, then another Euro step. QC crew flowing the best, since a youngin' I can rap. Come on the show and you better not cap, huh?
Alright, so we back, no cap, and that is a fact for another episode of the No Cap Podcast. So, one of the things I love about podcasting is that I have the opportunity to meet and talk to new and upcoming music artists, which is dope because you get to talk to them before they make it, before they get big, and hear about their creative process, how they got together. So today I have another music group. The second time I've had a music group on the show. I got my boys from Brokkaw.
Yes,
What's
sir.
good, brothers?
Brokkaw, baby. What's good?
So Brokkaw, let's get into where the name came from.
So I start off. So like me and Manu, we were just coming back from we were just like having like a little trip. You know what I'm saying? Like we were just like hanging out and stuff
Fun
like
time.
that. Yeah. And so Prescott was just like at the crib and stuff, and so we were just like, yo, like we gotta talk to Prescott, we gotta get this going, we gotta get this shit going, like we gotta do this, we wanna do this music shit, we just gotta do it, like fuck, it's like it's just us, you know what I'm saying, type shit.
And then pulling up to the crib, we see the road sign, and I'm like, hey yo, what about like Brokkaw BITCH? And like we go inside, we go into the basement, we talk to this man, and I'm like, yo, group name Brokkaw BITCH. And he's just like, dude, get rid of the bitch. What about just Brokkaw? And I'm like, yo, that's the one. That's the one. And then since then, dude, Brokkaw BITCH has been a saying.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting that. It was like they just came to me with that. I had nothing to do with that at all.
It was one of them mind connecting moments that you have.
Now I remember
Mess
back
around
in the
with
day
sex.
when Manu and I have done an episode together, actually in my first season. Sadly, we had to take that episode off.
I got a little too real.
It got a little raw, man. Some people felt a little type of way about it, but it's okay because I'm gonna drop it again eventually. It's a pretty good episode. But I remember we were talking back then. It was like 2 years ago almost now.
That was still SoundCloud rap. That was still me fucking around on Audacity, bro.
What we were talking about was how Manu back in the day had started when
I used to roast the
Freestyle Fridays at lunch, 8th period lunch. Manu was just spitting, and back then it was more like a hobby type thing that we had talked about. And then over time, you continuously did it, and then you got better at it and better at it. And now you're making
Practice makes perfect.
Exactly, you're making a career out of it.
You start getting into like better and better processes, and then like even in the past year, like shout out to my mom because she bought me a Mac, and I was like word, and then I got Logic pirated on there, and then once I had Logic, it was over because I would watch YouTube videos on how people do shit on Logic. I started messing around with shit. Started messing around with auto-tune plugins, got plugins with this man Keeks right here. We got plugins on our Logics, and then from there, the evolution has just been crazy, you know? Like, I'll go back over to my SoundCloud songs, and I'll bump them shits, and I'm like, dude, what was I doing releasing these? Because, like, anything that I have on our notes that we have is 100 times better than anything I've dropped on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And, like...
It's funny. I didn't even mess with Manu like that. I was like a hater, you could say, more or less, bro. And then I mean, me and Kyle have been boys for a minute. Like, me and Kyle are mad close, right? So then that's how I met Manu. And
started
like,
playing Xbox, started talking mad shit on Xbox.
We would scream at this. I would scream at this kid at least. We would scream back and forth, like talking so much shit. I did not fuck with this kid at all, right? And then, so me and Kyle were making music in my garage at one point. And then I went away to college. And when I come back, he's making music with Manu. Right. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that, dude. Not doing that. Nah. And then I finally did. And I mean, he helps us out a lot. Helped me out a lot, bro. I didn't even know, like, he literally showed me I could probably sing type shit.
And that's what I was saying, because when you had brought it to my attention over the summer, you're like, yo, I'm making music now, Dante. You gotta get in the studio with me. I'm like, yo, what? You're making music? Because at least when I knew he had a little bit of a background because he had been doing it for a while. When you said you were doing it, and then you played one of your songs, I was like, oh shoot, wait, no, hold up, Prescott got a little talent, man. This shit's not bad.
I've always been like messing. I mean, it's kind of funny. Always rapping and stuff, trying to freestyle. You know, the classic like, yo, we're at a party, let's freestyle, bro. But I always felt I was pretty good at it. You know?
That's the thing, but especially with music, like everyone is like, oh, you know, I'm a freestyle. You know, someone play a beat for me. Not everyone has a talent.
It's trash. You know, what the fuck?
A lot of people want to make music, but it's actually a really hard art. Like not a lot of people can do it.
We argue every time. Every time we get in the studio, there's at least an argument on how something's gonna sound. But the thing is, you gotta toughen it out through those arguments, and then you come out with just such a beautiful art piece afterwards. And then you listen to that shit and you're like, damn, the process getting there, like we thought this shit would sound good. Like there's times where I'm like, yo, this shit sounds great, and these guys are like, nah, bro, cut that shit out. And I feel bad about it, but you just gotta do that shit. And then it just makes overall the piece overall just gets a lot better.
And it's also how close we've all gotten, no cap podcast, there you go. Nah, but I love saying that's funny, but we got like I would say they're my brothers, you know, we're mad close. We always hang out all the time, like gotten through some deep ass like deep talks, have nothing to do with music, family, you know.
That's good.
Shit like that, yeah.
So when you guys first got together and you were getting the music thing together, what was your vision? Because at first, you know, when you're making a group, I'm sure the hardest thing is finding out, you know, what's our sound going to be? Where are we going to go forward? So what were the initial thoughts of you guys putting your sound together, your vision together?
So overall sound-wise, I'd say them two, like, listen to more softer music. The rap that I listen to, I love South Memphis, like, hard 808 type of music.
Before you finish, all I gotta say is that was bold.
To say soft, I'm a fist fight you right now.
But, like, soft to me,
just because I like Bryson Tiller,
soft to
soft.
Exactly, but I don't listen to Bryson Tiller, like, not really, like, that much when I started hanging out with these guys. And, like, I realized, bro, like, hip-hop is one of the most diverse music things that you can ever have, bro. Like, rock and roll sounds like rock and roll. Like, country sounds like country. Hip-hop, you have one side of hip-hop being, like, Bryson Tiller, your fucking, what's her name, bro? Kehlani's, you know, all those. Your all those kind of, like, soft, you know, like, very melodic style rappers, like, even, like, Polo G and shit. And then on the other hand, you got, like, Lil Durk, like, Chief Keef, like, all these super hard, like, I'm in the streets, like, I'm the raps, like, I fucked with the original,
Manu wishes
like,
he was Lil Durk.
Super.
That's what he's saying right now. That's what he's saying.
I fuck with the super hard type of beats, right? Because I like driving and listening to music and shit like that. But hanging out with these guys is like made me be able to go into my melodic side, go into my singy side, and like that shit just works out great, yo.
His singy side, I like that. I like that.
You know, my seduction of a female side.
Yo,
it's funny. No. It's funny because Manu says like he literally taught me how to sing though. It's funny because like I've never really tried. I mean, done it right. He's like, no. Instead of like sing with this part of your throat, like sing with like nasal, all this stuff.
That's very true.
Which and it's funny. He says we taught him how to sing, but he literally is the one.
Because music is one of those things, bro. Nah, y'all helped me find it inside of me. I just gave the favor back, bro. Because like the thing is, music is like. Either you have it or you don't. Yeah, you can practice, but like if you're the best practicing musician, you're doing 8 hours a day on music, but you just don't know what music is. Like what you don't know like how to put soul into music.
You know what it feels like because music is a feeling.
Exactly, music is just a feeling.
Most definitely.
And all three of us, bro, we bring completely different feelings into it, but they work perfectly. So that's what makes our music just, in my opinion, like I think our music is better than most music that's dropping these days. But that's just me.
As you should, because that's the thing. Music is such an art form that when you make it on your own, you're like, oh my god, this is my best form.
Yup, and then when you make it with two of your fucking brothers and all three of them are like, oh my god, what have we just done?
But that's the thing, right? When you're making music, it's the creative process that goes into it. So when you guys are in the studio or when you guys are just recording in general, what's something you guys are doing while you're in the studio? What's the should I say the aura?
That's literally what we try. I mean, mostly I think a lot of times we try to figure out like we're trying to figure out what like literally what are we feeling today? Like
what kind of idea
are we up today? Like I mean, it's because it all depends, and I mean that's like a lot of music and everything. I mean, but we always we do a lot of things though. That's the thing. We also want to prove that we can we can do like everything.
So you base it a lot off your emotion, what you're going through.
It starts off like emotion, like putting down melodies, putting down flows, like da-da-da-das, and, you know, all those, like, if you were to drop that, like, people would think differently of you type of thing. But then that gets turned into, like, writing lyrics, and then we rough draft those lyrics, and we fix up those lyrics, and then the song doesn't get touched for like a week or two, and then like we go back onto the song and we're like, yo, let's do this. Like the song that we just dropped, No More, bro, that song has been created since February of last year. And it's just been sitting in the vault and just been getting minute changes ever since. And then when it was ready to drop, we dropped it. And all my family that hasn't heard my music since my SoundCloud days has been like, bro, the improvement is astronomical.
Like gravy, like
it's crazy. My cousins were gravy and said, "Yo, this shit is dog shit. Go to class. What are you doing? Go to college. What are you doing?" I've said, "Bro, we support your career. We support what you and your friends are doing. You know." And it's one of those things, bro. It really hits home at that.
It's the hardest thing at first.
Yeah.
When you're starting to do something, especially that's different.
Yep. I bet you feel the same way with the podcast.
When I first started doing the podcast, I had a lot of support because people knew this is something that was up my alley. You know, I'm very good at conversation.
Man's got a voice.
That's the thing, right?
Those Instagram videos, come on. Come on. We speak with Dante.
It's hella funny you mention that because 2 years ago I dropped that poem on IG, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's got like over 5,000 views, right? But it's funny how like someone's voice can like it liberates, bro.
Yeah.
So when you have like a talent and you know like this is what I want to do, you have to pursue that talent.
Absolutely.
Because if you let it pass, just like whatever, because I have a bunch of different talents I want to pursue in that. Like music, this podcasting, I really want to be on TV. I would love to start acting again and be in movies and television. Like that shit is right up my alley. Entertainment.
The entertainment shit, yo.
Obviously, like I always like everyone's always like kind of scared to start something like that. It's like hard to start something like that,
right?
Like podcast music.
It's always hard to start something
right?
new.
Yeah, right. And I'm only I was like, when I'm scared, I always try to think like, well, when I'm 50, am I gonna be like? I didn't do anything that I liked, and it's like no matter if people judge me or whatever. I mean, it's gonna be whatever. It's like.
It's one of those things, man, when you're on your deathbed, like my way of living life is I don't want to have any regrets in my life. Yeah. I don't want to think back to being like, damn, I could have done this could have played. Nah, bro. Like you have one chance at life, whatever this life is, bro. You got one opportunity at this shit. You got to make the most of it. You got to enjoy yourself. You know, obviously don't be doing like heroin and shit, like destroying your life. But like, you know, like enjoy yourself in a meaningful way and do good things for the world, you know? And that's if you can die being like, damn, I did exactly what I wanted to do. You die happy. That's all it is.
Like, I mean, a couple weeks, literally, a little over a week ago, I made the decision to leave college. And that was like one of the hardest
It's a hard decision, man.
for me to do because I sat there and I'm like, hold up. I've been in this shit for almost 3 years. I might as well finish. Mm-hmm. But when I sat there in my dorm, I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not happy right now. It's 11 o'clock. Well, it's 11 o'clock. I was like, I'm not happy right now. I'm not in a position where I feel like I can grow. Mm-hmm. I'm not in a position where I feel like I'm doing what I want to do.
Those dorms feel restrictive, bro.
True. Whole life. But it's not even that. It's like college in general. Yeah, college is supposed to be the place where you go and you learn and you find yourself, right?
Yep.
It's becoming harder and harder to do that.
Exactly, because the thing that was really killing me while I was at school is I really, really, really want to continuously push this podcast and push my brand and eventually push my media company, right? Mm-hmm. I wasn't able to do that at school. You know how many times people ask, yo, you drop another podcast, you're doing this, you're doing that? I can't because I'm too consumed doing other things. You know? So now I finally have that.
I'm not having a podcast.
I got creative freedom. I got creative freedom, and you guys are always together. You have that creative freedom, and you're putting it together. So one thing that I like to do is when I talk to any artist, you know, whatever they do with music is, who inspires you when individually, who inspires you when you're making music? Who do you look up to? Who do you listen to all the time?
All right, can I start this?
I think Prescott the quickest.
I feel like Prescott would be
What's on your wrist, bro? What's on your wrist?
Well, that's my favorite artist. J. Cole, my boy. I love J. Cole. I got the Born Sinner on there. But I mean, yeah, that's funny. I didn't even think about that shit. I didn't even think about one of the ghosts. But I was gonna go with my fucking dad. No cap. Because it's mad funny. He was like it's funny, he was in like plays and stuff when he was in high school. And like it's always hard, like, oh, I'm making music, Dad. Oh, you're trying to be a rapper? or trying to be like, anything, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he was not at all. He was like, oh yeah, music, cool. He was in a band when he was young and all this. Like, he was like, my mom would be like, oh yeah, he was in a band with his friends. Like, they would perform at this, like, at summer, all this stuff. So that was really, to me, I was like,
right.
He kind of helped me a lot, and that made me like want to feel okay with making music and all that.
So musically though, who do you listen to?
Oh, J. Cole.
Like J. Cole. So
musically, if you mean that, then yeah.
So
J.
do you
Cole.
feel like when you listen to J. Cole, he inspires you in how your sound should be, or in terms of when you're writing your lyrics?
Kind of how he acts in a message. I like the whole. It's kind of. I guess it seems corny, but the whole. Yeah. He's not really trying to be materialistic. It's kind of. He's a real guy. I like how he's a real person. He does rock he has nice stuff, he buys stuff, but that's not what it's all about. It's all about, like, he loves his family, he loves good values. He admits love is a real thing. He's not out here, drugs, he's not drugs.
He's out here promoting good values. Not a lot of artists do that.
Oh shit. I'm a loving guy.
I wish you could see his face right now. Oh my god. Go ahead, Keeks.
Nah, I gotta say, like, honestly, Young Thug is probably like mine, only because it's like he just like he has like an energy to him. You like listen to him, he's just like, yo, this man does not care. Like, his voice, the way he uses it and stuff, it's just like, oh wow, like this man like really just like he's trying to use it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And like the feeling that you get when he uses it, it's like, oh, I'm trying to have fun. You know what I'm saying? And, like, when we're in the studio, like, I feel like what I try to do personally is like I try to like.
Kyle's always having the most fun, yo.
Not even that. That's not even
always getting dummy lit.
It's like I want to like just like use my voice in a way where like they're like, oh, I mean, like he's using it that way. Like I could use mine this way. Kind of get people like comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Different things and shit. Like
experimentation.
Yeah, literally. And like music is like, all right, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna find something you like or like something that's cool if it's like the same shit every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like.
I would say that's definitely Kyle. Kyle will always be freestyling his verses.
Always.
It sounds like they're all written. He's just playing around and he hits that shit. I swear to God.
Hits it perfectly.
No, not even lying.
Me and Quack are always like, damn it, bro. Like
we
bro, how do you do this shit?
All the time,
bro, I say the same thing.
One of
my boys, bro, in QC crew, man, Kid Apollo. I mean, every time I talk about music on this podcast, I bring this man's up every single time because I think he is the best rapper I've ever heard. Just like, and it's not saying that just because you want to support your friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you gotta be real with them, right? But when you see and hear talent, you have to give kudos to it. You have to nurture that talent, and if you have it, you have it. There's some people that can just flat out just start spitting.
No, that reminds me literally because I used to hate on this kid purely for the fact, like in high school, like OGXP type shit. I was like the fact that he was releasing music at that point, maybe it wasn't the best or whatever that he's at, but I was still like, damn, he's just doing it.
He's doing it.
I want right, and then now looking at him now, I'm like, yo, like that's talent. Like he's got something about it.
I wouldn't be able to get to the point of me learning that this doesn't sound good, this doesn't sound good, and then being able to just keep going forward and just further like just like molding my character in the music world essentially, you know what I mean, who I am, what I sound like type of shit. And that goes for all three of us too, you know, like these guys, they just started releasing music and shit, but like bro, the growth in the past year just as
haven't
artists,
released everything that we've done
exactly, the growth in the past year, like the song that we just released is made from a year ago. Like the shit that we're working on right now makes the song that we just released seem like dog water, but that doesn't change the fact that the song we released is fire. Everyone's saying that they love it,
and I'm a fan. Now, it took you a whole year to release this song.
Nah, it didn't take us like a year. I mean, like it was like
we had it in the
we
back
weren't
pocket.
ready for it.
So,
you know?
So I don't even say it's that. It's just like more like we were just like, yo, like it was like a timing thing. It's like, you know, like it's like
so forever how long it did take you to release it. What stops you from releasing a song after you record it, or what pushes you forward to
for like the
edits
first
to it?
So like for the first, at least for the first song, it was all about like first impression. That was one thing.
You have to get it, dude,
but then also when we're like oh, this song sounds good. I feel like all three of us would agree. I mean, maybe that we always are like it could be better, and it always is. Better. And it's always funny. Sometimes we're like, nah, it's ready. We've had multiple times where we're all like, oh no, it's ready, we're good. But then we go in and then we're like we're annoyed, like we're really working on this one today, like this, and it's so much better, like so much better.
You speak of timing, and that's something that I've always appreciated from a lot of different artists. And of course, I'm gonna talk about my boy because I talk about him every time, Drake. His timing and when he drops projects is always prime. Think about when he dropped Views, More Life. It was always at the right time when that music started to kick up, and then it ended up being the hit of that season, the hit of that year. So, as an artist, as you guys are dropping music, how important is timing to you dropping certain songs or projects or even promoting different things?
So I talked with these boys about this like about a week ago, right? The first song that we released, we dropped it on the 2nd of February in 2/2/22, right? Important date, right? Angel numbers, all that. But from there, it's not about just like dropping projects occasionally. The way I see it is, as an up and coming artist, you have to show consistency. You have to show the ability to be able to just constantly be dropping new music, constantly giving your growing fans something new to feed on. And I was telling these guys, I was like, look, like our first song got like 50 views with 0 promotion in the first night. When we drop our second song, like we're trying to do 50 views within the first hour. Third song, 50 views within the first minute. As long as that growth is there, that's showing that we're onto something good, and then that's when you go all in and just keep pushing.
And if it's not, then we change it up. We do something
Exactly.
different.
If it doesn't work out, you switch it up.
Like when you're talking about releasing the first song, we were also, I feel like at some point we were like, let's release this one already, because like we're trying to get to that point where we can release the
drop
first
music.
one. I think we're trying to drop it like next month. That's what we are gonna do. Like it's gonna be coming in much more hot out.
You feel something when you release something and people hit you up saying, yo, this is gas, this is good. Like, keep going, you know?
And as creative as you have to be when you're making music, obviously you want to have your own sound. But how much does the fans and how much do the listeners influence how you're going to change, how you're going to, or if it doesn't at all? But I feel like a lot of times,
I say it's a little too early to ask that,
right?
You know,
because you want to have a certain type of fan base, right? So what I'm getting at is, you want to be able to influence those fans and have them have a liking to you for as long as possible and stick by you. So how much does their input or does their say influence how you guys create music, or will it in the future?
I mean, as long as I would say, for me at least, what I think is, as long as they don't hate something we do, and they, I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to change what I do just because someone doesn't. I mean, if we had a huge fan base for like 10, 100 people, and then we drop a song and 100 people hate that next song, then all right, we'll do something different the next time. But I don't know. I don't really want to.
But that doesn't change the fact that we're gonna drop it. Exactly. Because the thing about music is, other people's input. I think the Knicks just scored. The Knicks just scored. Boys are yelling in the basement. As much as the input of other people matters, at the end of the day, bro, to me, music is about expressing myself in a way that I just was not able to. You know, I felt like always growing up, I never really had a voice. So just being able to just produce music, put my voice out there, and have people think that my voice sounds good is just one of those things where it's like, damn, that feels good. So, like, the fans, dude, they matter, but the boys that I make music with is pedestals over what anyone else thinks. Like, dude, if you don't like it, I'll ask you why. But I'll take your opinion. But if I don't agree with you, I don't agree with you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what the three of us thinks in our music is what's going to matter the most, because it's our music, you know?
I mean, we all know how much music just influences the game. And what I mean by the game, I mean the culture. I mean, culture is pretty much what takes over everything. Everything is culture, no matter what we do. From the clothes we wear, the way we speak, the music we listen to, the sports we watch. Everything is culture. And I love the fact that music is so deeply intertwined in the culture of everything. It's not just here in America. It's like in a bunch of different countries. Music is always different.
Hip-hop is the biggest thing in the world. You see
music is the only thing that can really give you a feeling.
Right.
Like every time.
You see the wave of like New York drill popping out from UK beats. Then it starts going into like Italy and France. Now even Indian. My parents are showing me Indian rappers rapping on UK beats. And I'm like, yo, what is this? And they're like, dude, you could do this. Just rap in Hindi. And I'm like, nah, that's cool, but like I don't want to I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not gonna change what my voice is, what I want to sound like, because of what's popping.
Yeah, I mean, like the way music now has influenced everything. Think about it. You can watch a TikTok video, and because everyone watches TikTok, a song will blow up, and then it'll end up being one of the biggest songs of the charts. And a lot of people might not even like that song.
And it falls off in a month, and the cycle just repeats.
I said it before one time, a couple months ago when I was doing a podcast. I was like, TikTok saved the baby's whole career because that man's was falling off after Kirk dropped. Because that mixtape,
it was Suge parts 1 through 17. It was 17 songs that sounded exactly like
his flow
Suge.
was the same, wasn't changing. And then even though I'm not a fan of Rockstar at all, it was a new sound. It changed everything for him. It got big on TikTok, and then bam. But you know, think about how much like certain songs just blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's what's funny because we always talk about that, and it's always like, well, if that happens to us, cool, yeah, cool.
It's something
I
you
would
don't want to
hate
chase.
that. I'm always like, I would hate that. TikTok would make me feel like, oh, I did it completely wrong.
The way I see
it's
it,
like
dude,
fake fans.
you see Lil Pump, who got 22 million followers on Instagram. You see like Smoke Perp, like that 2017 rapper that, you know, all those rappers that blew up, and then you see them now. Like Lil Pump dropped his tape and he got 20,000 sales first week. Like that's flopping numbers from someone who literally linked up with Kanye, had Grammy, you know, like won a Grammy with Kanye, and like, bro, like that's just crazy, you know. I think these boys will agree with me too. Is like we'd much rather take 1,000 loyal fans that support everything we do, that show up to our shows, give us love, you know, like provide us with the funds necessary to keep growing our music, than 1 million Instagram followers that when you drop something they don't care, because at the end of the day it's social media. They look at you for 15 seconds and you're not in their head anymore. That's just how the world works now.
Kanye, you bring up Kanye.
Go.
So
Here we go.
Kanye and Lil Wayne.
Fuck the music shit.
We were talking about
music shit. Hold on. I gotta get this across, bro.
He's about to go crazy.
Kanye, I got to get your view on Kanye, because some people say he's crazy. Some people say he's a genius, and some people say
Albert Einstein was crazy.
What genius isn't crazy?
That's a bold statement. But
he said it's one of his best bars. He said, "Name one genius that ain't crazy."
But for real.
And it's
also,
facts.
I think he really is to the point where he's doing whatever the fuck he wants to do.
He does not care.
How Kyle literally just said that, and everyone wants to paint him as the villain because it's so easy and it's so many.
Kanye and Lil Wayne would be my. We were talking about that music inspiration sheds. Kanye and Lil Wayne would be my two most. Kanye for his attitude, the way he goes about making music, the way that you hear Kanye beat, and it sounds like nothing you've ever heard before, bro. The Life of Pablo, Father Stretch My Hands, like, dude,
fantasy.
Insane. Literally, My Dark Twisted Fantasy, bro. Kids See, Ghost, College Dropout, Graduation, all of these albums.
And he goes
like,
with the times.
Absolutely
Some people
fire
don't like
albums.
that. Some people think, oh, you're switching up for the times, but it's like, no, I can switch up
and they
for the
show
times.
his growth.
All these other rappers
They show
can't,
his growth.
You know?
Kanye, if you listen to Kanye from 2004, sounds nothing like Kanye from The Life of Pablo.
No.
And it's, dude, the growth he has as an artist is just shows right there. The way he's able to go from sampling this beat in this way to sampling a certain beat. Dude, he turned Designer's Panda into probably one of the best songs that I've heard of that summer.
Dante, what do you
just
think
because of
about
that? It's not.
Like,
Let's go.
Like,
that shit was so fire.
Do you think he's your smirk on your face gets me a weird feeling?
Bro, this
gets me a weird feeling.
This is my show. Why you asking me?
Oh, because you know I see that smirk on your face. I need to know, man.
No, I'm a big fan of Kanye, and I think that he is the most misunderstood genius of all time. Okay, I agree with everything that he's ever done. Not because some things he does is wild. Some things he does are just over the top and he shouldn't. But it's the manner in which he goes about how he does his things. He's always true to who he is.
He's Kanye,
and it's hard for other people to fathom the fact that he's not changing because you want him to.
The dude dropped a song called I made the whole Kanye.
That is the most narcissistic thing you can ever do.
And everyone loves it.
Everyone loves it.
Everyone loves it.
Bro, the pettiest shit I've ever seen in the rap game. Drake offered him $3 million for a beat, and he said, "Fuck you, Drake," and said, "Poop, poop-de scoop,
on the
poop, poop-de scoop," on that beat, just so Drake couldn't use it. That is the pettiest shit I've ever seen from a man, and that's hilarious.
Isn't it wild that somebody like Kanye, think about auto-tune. Auto-tune is one of the, like,
Manu has put me.
Auto-tune completely changed the game, but T-Pain, T-Pain is one of the goats for real. Now T-Pain did make.
But he had a beautiful voice before that.
Exactly, he has a great voice.
About it.
But here's the thing people don't understand with auto-tune is that when Good Life came out, that's what made auto-tune,
dude,
okay.
808s and Heartbreak changed everything about modern rap. 808s were not used in rap beats before Kanye made it a thing.
Like, this man T-Pain made auto-tune popular, made it big.
Kanye made modern
acceptable.
Kanye made modern hip hop what it is today, bro. 808, like the 808 instrument is the most used instrument in every fucking beat now. And before 808s and Heartbreak, it was not. It was not.
So
not
I'm talking about
any
like
song.
Kanye like bringing back or bringing like 808s and shit. But like the one thing about it, what Kanye does that I love is just anything that's like not looked at as like cool or whatever, or like something
Makes
that's
it
like,
cool, bro.
Yeah, literally.
Look at Yeezys. Yeezys used to be the ugliest shoe. Now everyone's
it was
wearing
like,
them.
for example, like this man had like a pink polo on like the red carpet, right? He's an African American male wearing pink polo
And a backpack.
and a backpack.
With his
We all
that
know.
collar up.
We all know like we're supposed to be
That night with
tough and
Taylor
shit.
Swift,
This
he
man
pulled
wearing
up with a
pink
bottle of
polo.
Henny.
That's crazy.
Yo,
This man-
that did.
Exactly.
That was
And everyone-
savage.
This man's just he's
Exactly.
always been a fashion icon. I mean, look at his hairstyles.
Right.
This man has had some of the ugliest haircuts I've ever seen, but because he's
Yo,
an
that
icon,
most recent one that was memed on that.
Yeah,
oh,
bro.
He like it looked
Bro,
like they
those
took a
new
buzzer
Yeezy
to his head
yeah,
and just
bro,
bop, bop,
look like he cut his hair with a broken
polka dot.
bottle. I ain't gonna hold you, like you know, it was
One of
bad,
those
man.
cornrows type shit.
I mean, looked like he had the map to the Underground Railroad in the back of his head. Man. Like, I didn't know what was going on back there. But I mean, Kanye, the way that he has been able to influence the culture, it's very hard for an artist to influence the culture. It's
Like how
easy.
Kanye
and
is
Kanye's done it because it's easy for someone to influence your entity, like music, sports. But for someone to influence culture, this man has changed the game in music. He's changed the game in which we listen to things. He's changed the game in which we visualize music.
Yep.
He's also changed the way we visualize art and fashion.
And fashion in music, bro.
Fashion in music as well,
Like,
because he's
it's-
made hip. Before, there were certain articles of clothing that was hip hop. But
Bro,
then he
how-
made
2001 Lil Wayne, bro.
yeah, bro.
with them baggy
Eventually
ass
he made hip hop fashionable. You know what I'm saying?
People wear protection, Rollies, and all that. High fashion brands are now getting involved with hip hop artists. Look at Virgil, bro. He was head of Louis Vuitton, one of the most high fashion.
A black
brands.
man head of Louis Vuitton. Like that's one of the craziest things ever.
The creator of Off White that made probably one of the most controversial. Either you loved it or you hated it, bro. And he's the head of Louis Vuitton, and the shit that he was dropping with Louis Vuitton were the craziest piece, bro. You see the duffel bag that was like glowing and like changed colors, like bro, that's crazy.
It's things we've never seen before.
Things
Like-
you've never seen before.
But the
And-
thing-
That's literally
and-
Kanye as an artist is
things you've never seen before, bro.
But that's the thing, though, because we look at Kanye and we're like, oh, he's fucking crazy. No, he's not crazy. He's doing something you've never seen before. Because I say it
And
every
people
when
are
this man
scared of it,
dies,
bro.
conforming to what's supposed to be cool. and
exactly.
shit,
When he
you know,
dies,
that's Kanye.
30, 25,
No,
30 years
don't-
from now, we're going to say this. We're like, yo, damn.
Kanye is one of the
Kanye
best
really
of all
was
time.
a genius. He was one of the
Yup.
greatest of all time.
We're gonna listen to music dude. Even now, you listen to music, bro. I keep going back to it. 808s and Heartbreak. You listen to that, and you listen to the songs coming out today, and it's all been influenced by that Kanye, bro. Like going back to like the Drake shit. Yeah, Drake might be the #1 selling artist, bro. Yeah, he might have more hits than the Beatles, but Drake does not change the game how Kanye changes the game. He's in his own lane, and what he does, people follow, bro. It might not be instantly. That's some true genius shit, though. It's 5-6 years down the road, people realize, oh, damn, he's ahead of the time, bro. He's just ahead of his fucking time.
For real.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, the two biggest artists right now probably in rap are Kanye and Drake.
Yup.
Two guys who really did things ahead of their time. At first, it was like, yo, this is weird, but it worked. They made it popular, and then over time, everyone started doing it. Think about it. First, when Drake was coming out and he was dropping
I mean, it
that
was a
melodic
soft
rap, he was
boy,
so
bro.
soft, and everyone's
Everyone's
like,
like, what?
that's not rap. That's not. Think about how many artists, male and female, are doing the same
The melodic
exact
shit
things.
now,
The
yup.
melodic rap thing is cool. That's what's in now. People are playing that shit at parties. So
People like got the whole party singing to some song.
exactly. Every single time, think about someone when Life of Pablo dropped, that album got so
Shit on.
much hate.
Shit on. I hated
So
that
much hate.
album.
I didn't like it either. And now it's a fucking classic.
I had to listen to
all
it
the
when I
time.
was 19, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't like this.
And that album came out when we were 15 years old.
Deadass.
And it took years for that. And now people are like, oh my God.
He was
this
ahead of
is
his time, bro. He was ahead of his time.
You go on Apple Music, every time you look for an artist, they have their essential albums. At first, Life of Pablo was not up there. Like
Not up
2
there.
years ago, they put it up there. It's like, it really is. It's one of the biggest albums of that decade. It was by far either the best album or the second best
made
album in
that
2016. 2016.
Summer, bro. It made summer of 2016.
That think about it. Wow.
That
Drake and Kanye,
that
Views and Life of Pablo were the two biggest albums of summer 16.
and What a Time to Be Alive.
What a Time to Be Alive came out.
Drake and Future
in 2015, bro. The beginning of freshman year. I was talking to my boy. I was talking to Casey the other day, bro. And we're talking about What a Time to Be Alive. We're saying like that album, that mixtape. Those 3 days of artistic creativity,
I remember just
literally changed
the
everything
world.
for us.
I remember
Changed
just
the
bumming
world,
shit
bro.
like high school.
Jumpman
man.
was
That's
probably
just,
one of the
crazy.
best songs ever
It's
written.
like,
Jumpman,
and it's still
Jumpman,
going
man,
now
was
though.
up
That's
to
what's funny.
Exactly.
You can still
put that
put
on
that
right
song
now,
on and people
no
will
one's gonna
bump
ask
it.
you to skip that
Yep.
shit.
And it's
Like,
so hard to make music that's
That
timeless.
stays like that, yo. That's the thing about new music, bro. Is like look at XXL, bro. Like the rappers that were on Double XL from 2009 to 2013 are still here. They are still constantly making
it's
hits.
taking it's not really.
The rappers that have been on like dude,
Not to throw some crazy shit
who
out
was
there,
on
but-
Double XL in 2018? Can you name anyone? I can't. 2016 is the last year I remember. Those are the guys that are still here. 2017 and forward, bro. Unknown. Look, Blockboy JB, cool. He dropped a new tape.
Dude's
Lil Pump
I don't even
fell
listen
off.
to-
Yo, I forgot about Black Boy JB.
That dude had once. Drake put him on.
Exactly.
Drake does that. Drake
Yeah,
Drake hops
puts
on a
so many-
feature, and then
it's
that's your
over.
career for
That's
like
it.
you got some mills, and
then
it's
Drake
done.
takes your sound and says, "All right, bro, thank you for your career. I appreciate that."
Hey, Lil Baby was tough, but when he dropped Yes Indeed with Drake, bang, it was over.
Nah,
It
'cause
he
he-
blew up.
Dude, see, I used
That's
to
how
hate.
it goes. It either goes. It goes. He takes your career like Black Boy JB, or
Lil
it's
Baby, you run with
and
it.
Lil Baby's running the game, bro.
Dude,
Lil Baby is.
I used to hate Lil Baby when Yes Indeed came out. I thought that shit was
I
so
like, yo, what the
whack.
hell is this whining
Wow,
ass
wow,
guy
wow.
doing it?
Literally.
I hated that shit. I did. I
And bro,
definitely
My
hated that
Turn
shit.
dropped, and that was actually probably one of the most game-changing albums of
And he
2020
dropped one
or
of the most
2019.
influential songs of 2020. It's bigger than Black and White. Like when you say
Yep.
when
The platform is
exactly
like.
and he's one of the newest artists that's really big right now. But he's
That's
taking control.
probably
of
gonna
his
be
influence.
timeless music, bro. Lil Baby, Gunna, Thug, YSL, that shit's influential now.
It will.
How this kid's calling each other slat and shit, never been in that thing, right?
Don't you find it funny that when Prescott mentioned 2009 to 2013, right? Those artists are still around, still making hits like Wayne, Nicki.
Yeah.
Chris,
J. Cole,
J. Cole,
Future.
all of them, they're all still making hits. And a lot of guys, when we really started getting into music, we started to understand how much it influenced us. Say like 2014 to now, there's a lot of artists that were huge and they're like gone.
Fell off,
Yeah, no.
absolutely
It
fell off.
happens.
It happens. There's so many one-hit wonders nowadays.
So
it's like
many.
how, we were talking
And
about
the
TikTok.
social
It's
media
literally
makes
because
it.
of like
Social
shit like that,
media makes it
people-
happen because people's attention spans are getting smaller and smaller. So to truly find someone that like makes you stop scrolling, find that kind of, it's a 1 in a million shot, you know.
Albums now are like 10, 12 songs. Back
Yep.
when albums used to be, I was talking to my boy last night, and we were saying the length of certain albums. Like
The length of songs, yo, people's attention
they're
spans
they're like
have gone
2 minutes
down.
long.
Yeah.
Even for me now, I'm so. I'm
A 4-minute song, bro.
so
Seeing Green is
conditioned
such
to
a long
listen
song.
to songs that are like 2 minutes, 30 seconds
Yeah.
long. If I hear a 3-minute song, I'm like, bro, oh my god, it's taking forever. I'm like, yo, how long has the song been? 2 minutes. You got 30 seconds left, bro.
Right.
What?
People are getting sick of hearing the chorus more than like three times, and it's like, all right.
Well, the thing
You
is,
hit
the
a-
chorus
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
even
just- it gets
exist
old.
anymore.
Think about
it's a
that,
hook now.
that,
you're right.
that one song
Say,
that
yeah,
used to be like
you're right. Hook is
Drake.
a chorus nowadays.
What's that one song with like Drake, Kanye, fucking Eminem? It may not be da 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 da.
Oh,
understand that song's
Oh
like
my God,
7 minutes long.
Forever. What is that?
Forever now, yeah.
Shit, come
that
on,
song's
man.
like 8 minutes
Classic.
long, bro.
I still
Like
love it.
7
It's a
minutes
classic.
long.
Everyone
Yeah,
listens
guys,
to
I'll still
classic.
listen to that.
It's a
Back
classic.
then, you could drop 7-minute long music.
drop a
You can't
song
do
like
that.
that.
If you drop that song today, people would
And
not
especially if you're
listen
trying to
the
like
verse.
Remember
trying to
when-
be on the come up. specifically.
Remember when
No
Kanye
one's
had
listening
Good
to that
Summer?
shit.
Yo, Good Summer was wild, man. Mercy came out.
Mercy was a
Mercy has a
6-minute
bunch
long
of different
song.
verses, like 6 minutes long.
6 minutes
a song
long.
like that could
There's
never
a whole
drop
second
now.
part just with Kanye. The oh yeah, easy, I done it again. That's just so crazy. And 2 Chainz comes in, bro, crazy.
Nah, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It's
How long?
different.
How long is No More?
No More's like 2 minutes 30,
Shit,
2
we're
minutes
pushing
40.
it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we gotta think about that now. Who would have even thought about that? Like,
But I
how
think-
long is my song? Is it gonna?
But
torture
now
the
so many
views?
people are like pushing the limits of hip hop
Mm-hmm.
to a point where they don't just have to be confined to. And this is what I really like about music now is that a lot of hip hop artists are able to go into different genres, which is something 30 years ago people would have never thought was
Never,
possible.
bro. Lil Nas X collected, like, bro, he might get hate, but Old Town Road, That shit collected country medals, collected hip hop medals. He dropped his tape. That shit was #1 on rock and roll charts. Like, that's crazy.
It's really
He's
hard to do
collecting
something.
fucking Billboard hits like Infinity Stones, bro. That's just unheard of.
Remember Chris Brown was just strictly doing the R&B pop thing, and then he eventually got into the whole rap thing. He's not really rapping like that, but
he was on rap beats. He was on rap beats,
and that it's slowly become to a point where a lot of these rappers have the ability to hop on different tracks, not because they didn't have it before. It was because at the time
now it's accepted.
Everything's mainstream. So if you want to be on, you have to be versatile.
Yep.
A lot of artists that don't last are not versatile. A lot of
so
artists that are
one-dimensional.
Exactly.
Yep, one-dimensional. They can't switch it up with the times, yo.
Someone like Ski Mask. I fucking love Ski Mask. Ski Mask has one of the
He
greatest
dropped
flows
a
I've
tape
ever heard.
like mad recent. No
And he was alright. No one's listening to it
And it's
because
the
got
same
some
thing that he
murder
dropped in
shit, honestly,
2017.
murder
Those Ronnie J like super boomy beats. Like
gotta change
that shit was
going,
good for its time.
I'm taking a piss on a pisser, like all that shit. Bro, like
2016, like 2018, we'll listen to some shit that was like, yo, what the hell,
looking
man?
back, if you go through my old ass SoundCloud account, find that it is I'm listening to that, I'm like, that might be the worst music I've ever listened to.
Perp, I had Ski Mask on there, I had Young Gravy
it's all the
on
same.
there,
Fat
It's all the
Ugly
same.
Guy,
Yo, Young Gravy
Everybody,
still.
bro.
Yo, RP, I can't even hate on X. X was different.
But still, I don't
see, X was versatile. He switched it up, bro. That's the
why.
thing that made him good.
He made.
That's what took him from like a decent
started
rapper to
singing,
probably
man.
one
That
of
guy
the
hit
goats.
that shit.
You
Literally.
have to admit, the SoundCloud era of music was
It
one
changed
of the
music
best
forever,
eras
bro.
ever. It changed everything because you know
Music
what?
got shorter.
It gave
People
everyone
stopped
a
giving
platform.
fuck, literally.
It gave everyone it was the first platform that in the modern era where you could just drop
Drop music and blow up. Drop music.
Think
and
about
blow
Lil
up.
Tecca. That man had like 50 songs on his SoundCloud, and they dropped Ransom, and he's fucking
Blew up.
gone
I got
right now.
black, I got white, what you
that shit is. I was still like, God, that.
And he's capping the entire song.
Yeah, that's what's so funny. The Genius interview.
I ain't even
we
do
always
any
talk
of
about
that.
stuff like that. I was always like, nah, it's gotta be real.
I don't even have a gun like that. I don't even got a car. I can't even drive, yo. That was funny.
We would always talk
I've
about
never
shit
been
like
to
that when
Paris.
we're making music, and I would be like, nah, it's gotta be real. It's gotta be like we can't lie. Like sometimes it's like you can bend the truth a little. That's what they would always be on. Like you can make it. You can
It's
make
a
it more
story.
fun.
At the end of the day, it's an
Make it
art
more
piece.
fun.
Yo, Keeks, you don't want to talk about it? It's Black History Month, man.
Yeah,
We gotta
He's falling asleep back there.
gotta have more
For
black
real.
voices.
He's
on
taking a
stage.
drink, bro.
you gotta make this a little more juicy. I'm falling over here.
You need to just sip
over here,
or
bro.
something.
So what you want to talk about, bro? What you got?
Yeah,
You over here all silent and shit. You ain't saying nothing. You like, oh, we gotta change up the
Let me
vibe.
spice it up.
Me and Quack will be
You ready?
silent for a
All
bit.
right, so I know it's your podcast and everything, but
Oh God.
with the podcast going on, what are you trying to bring on? Like, besides like guys and stuff, and like talk about sports and stuff, but like,
Right.
you gonna bring any like girls on here and like?
Bitches. Yo, he got bitches on here.
Kyle, get off your phone.
Yo, he hitting up.
You gonna bring any
Who's texting
girls on
me
here,
now?
right? And then ask them some like fun, juicy podcast. You feel what I'm saying? Where it's just like
Kyle's out
guys
here.
and girls just doing some goofy
Oh
shit,
my
saying
God.
some,
So listen.
asking whatever.
Hey, yo, all of my Nubian princesses hit this man up. Clearly, he need it. He down.
This show is
Any
This show is
queen out there,
sponsored
do
by
not
eHarmony.
Hit up Kyle. Do not hit up Kyle. Any queen out there? Don't.
This episode of the No Cap Podcast is sponsored by Tinder. Always swipe right.
Always swipe right. Hey, shout out to my big girls. They be needing love. They be needing love.
Nigga needed to see that shit. So.
Big girls need love too.
Big girls need love too.
Okay, so it's funny you ask you that question. So once I get the YouTube channel started, and I want everyone
I
to
want
know
to get some cameras up
this
here.
is official. This is official. YouTube will
We
be
can get the
up.
whole
It will be
podcast.
set by June. Right now, I'm doing so many different things. All right. So what people don't know is that I am in the process of starting my media company. I'm getting my money together first. That's the most important
Get your
thing.
money
That's
up,
what you
not
gotta
your
get your money
media
up.
company.
But you know, I say it jokingly, but I really wanted to start a media company because I want to own everything I do.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like someone else's. I'm giving my product. I'm giving my hard-earned work to someone else, and they're making the bread off it. They're taking the credit for it. I want to
That's
do
the equivalent
it
of
on my
selling your
account.
soul, yo. It's the
Exactly.
same shit.
So I'm starting a media company. It's gonna be called Moolah Media Productions, a culture project, and I call it a culture project because one of the things that I love about doing this podcast is that I'm able to articulate. Oh shit! The Lakers won. I'm sorry.
Fuck
the Lakers won. Let's go. Fuck the Knicks.
What was the score? What was
Bing
the score?
bong my
What was the
ass.
score? What was the score?
122 to 115. Yep.
Damn.
Bing bong y'all asses
Was that
back to
in the
New
fourth?
York.
Was that in the fourth?
And it was overtime.
Overtime,
Yeah,
was
bing
that-
bong y'all asses back to New York. But
Fuck LeBron.
Yeah,
Nah, you know what?
I
Fuck
have-
Russell Westbrook. I'm just saying that right now. Russell Westbrook, if I see you in the street, bro, it's on sight. If you're listening to this, Russell Westbrook, it's on sight.
but I do have a lot of ideas for the podcast. So one of the things that I'm really trying to do is get a vibe for it. So I'll be doing a lot of different things with it. I want to start doing some late night episodes. A lot of times I'm up late at night and I just got a lot of thoughts in my mind. And it might be like a short little 15-minute thing where I'm just expressing some things. And I want it to be a chill environment. You're just chilling late at night. You're like, you know what? Let me put on a podcast. Not something that's too long, but something that'll entertain you for a little bit of time.
Something that's not like, hey,
Yeah,
man, listen, man, chill,
nothing
late night
wild.
vibes.
Just a chill, calm environment. Like, listen, something you could drink to, something
right.
you could
Roll
roll
up.
up to. Like,
Exactly.
literally, I want it to be something for us. You know, where speaking from a young adult's perspective about certain things and just chilling. But I also have a lot of different ideas for merch coming up as well. T-shirts, different colors, well, sweatshirts, things of that sort. But the big thing that I'm really getting into is Patreon. Patreon, I think, is one of the biggest things for me to use. So it's basically, I know a lot of people have asked, what's Patreon? I've had it up there.
Never used
So
Patreon.
let me explain what Patreon does. Patreon gives me, as a creator, 100% creative freedom. What I mean by that is I can contact and have relationships with my listeners and my viewers through Patreon. On Patreon, you give a monthly subscription towards me, so you donate $5 a month or $10 a month, and I have different tiers. I have my VIP tier. I think it's like $20, $25 a month, where you get exclusive content. You know, like my episodes that I won't be dropping on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, video footage. You know, some behind the scenes stuff. How I go through my creative process. I'm gonna start videotaping that stuff a lot more. So it's a lot of things that goes into the creative process, which also brings people into what I'm doing.
Connects you to the creator.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want people to connect with me. I don't
There's a
want
lot of
people
YouTubers that started doing Patreon shit
Right.
simply because, dude, the whole YouTube adpocalypse shit where they're like, we don't want to pay our creators for making mature content, and then the whole children's content being super sexualized,
Exactly.
and then they're like, we don't
Exactly.
want to pay people for making kids content, so
Right.
they're just not paying anyone. All these creators just make Patreons.
That's
now,
what I
'cause
want.
it's support,
I want
yeah.
full creative responsibility. I want full creative control. So that way I can give my most authentic piece of art to everybody out there. Because I promise this thing's going to be big. It's going to get huge, but it takes time.
It takes time, yeah.
It takes time. But Keeks was asking if I'm going to have females on the show.
Yeah, that's all he thinks about.
Yeah, I know that's all he's worried about. It's more about the females, but I do want to start doing more episodes with females, and I want to like do those episodes and talk about like things that are on their mind. I think it's real easy for me to talk about to guys about things that we're interested in, sports, music, but I think there are a lot of I have a lot of girls that listen to my podcast. Are like, hey, you know, would you ever think about talking about this? One episode I've always wanted to do is a guys and girls podcast, and we just talk about
Guys and girls.
everything, guys and girls. You know, because we have our relationships, we have, you know, our friendships, we have different things that we do, the different ways we go about things, and I think that's one of the dopest ways in order to have a true conversation. Exactly, like being able to see things from different perspectives, with different genders and sexes. That's tough. That's tough.
Shout out to my
Huge
female
huge.
cousins, bro. It's the only reason I am the way I am.
You know,
That's kind of what I was on the one to talk about. I was like, you know, because thinking about it, like all four of us would have some pretty easy like stories and like angles for guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and all guys probably be able to relate.
I have
like
3
if a girl
sisters,
was
and I
here,
cannot tell you that I understand.
you know what I'm saying? Like she would probably have some different like viewpoints on what we say and how we did it. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. And, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like that. You know what I'm saying?
and I actually like talking to girls about certain things because I feel like the perspective that they bring to
It's
it
so different.
is so different, but it's like kind of enlightening because
With everything.
as a guy, you're kind of stuck in your ways, even if you see things from another side.
It's like logic.
It's
bro.
very black and white.
It's very
black and white.
Girls, it's
Especially
like
with music,
emotions
too,
and shit,
though.
And
yeah.
a lot of times, girls articulate themselves in a way. It's like, oh shit, you know, I never really thought of it because
I could've.
women think things through way more than we do, and I think a lot of times they look at things from an intelligence perspective rather than we do, and it's like all emotional. You know, like we're very just, you know, testosterone drive, everything is all aggressive and shit, but they really think shit through. And then I hear some of their ideas on things or their opinions, and I'm like, you know what? you're kind of right. You got a point.
You might be
So
helping me out.
Yeah, I definitely want to use that to like expand the show because I feel like all the time, all these podcasts and stuff and radio shows and everything, it's always talking to dudes. Like there are a lot of women that I would love to having to show, girls that I know, because I have conversation with them all the time. I have a lot of female friends that have said things to me. We've said in conversation, and I'm like, you know what? This is something.
Good conversation.
Yeah, we can do a podcast on this.
And they're kicking Manu off. They're like, yo, he's stupid.
Well, see, Manu be saying some of the most wild shit possible.
I'm sorry to my females.
So Manu, how you feel about Lizzo, Manu?
Yeah, what are you sorry
How you
about?
feel about Lizzo?
Manu, come on.
According to
Before
Lizzo is a beautiful queen.
Now, before he tells the
beautiful
truth,
woman in the world.
before he tells the truth, okay, I want y'all to understand.
Come on, guys.
You clicked on my shit. You wanted to hear this. So, whatever he says, I got no control over this. This is coming from his head. So, Manu, how you really feel about Lizzo?
Nah, bro, it's one of those things, yo. I feel like that kind of culture just should not be something that should be getting force-fed down.
Well, body positivity?
Young, not body positive, bro. That's not body positive. I take Lizzo's blood pressure, bro. Take her blood pressure, bro. I'm sorry.
Yo, and honestly, I can say this because Manu's my brother. Yeah, I was gonna say Manu is not a.
I'm not a skinny guy by one means.
Manu's a big guy.
I'm trying to say there's
Manu's
a double
big boy.
standard for guys and girls where it's like
It's not a double.
you're kind of saying like it's like well like
Hey, don't get me wrong. There's females out there that love their dad bodies, right? Like if you like that type of thing,
you don't want people to be like, yo, like you look this way. Like we shouldn't be saying, yo, pro this, pro that.
exactly. It should be, bro. It should be one of those. The way I see it, right, is like, bro, it's cool, bro. If you like big women, right? I like like I said, bro. Big girls need their love too. I'm here to give it to them, right? I love me my big BBWs, right? Yeah. But at the same time, that's not something that should be getting force fed down young impressionable teens' throats. The same way that a Victoria's Secret model being super anorexic and having ribs and all that shit should be force fed down their throat. It shouldn't be like Lizzo is the most beautiful person in the world because she got into a swimsuit and she's 450. You know what I mean? Like that's just like it's not healthy, bro. From
like a different perspective. I think it's just like the perspective is just like it's like most people when they are like that they feel a certain way. So it's like for them they want to feel like they want to feel where it's like I also feel beautiful. Even though you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing.
I feel like
right?
that's what the movement is. But I get what you're saying.
It's dude. There's a beauty in that shit. I'm not saying every girl's gotta be absolutely rib cage and like nah, bro. Like have some meat on your bones. Have some meat on your bones. I like meat on my bones type of shit, right? Like I'm a big guy. I like to eat, bro. Come on. And like the thing is, right? There's like a limit, bro. The same way like being skinny is like a limit. Like, dude, being skinny is good and looked at, but if you're not eating anything and you're all bones and you got bags under your eyes because you just have not eaten a fucking meal in weeks because of how you look like and shit, and you're like throwing up, like, dude, that's just bad. And it works the same way on the exact other end where you're engorging yourself daily because you're like, I'm beautiful, and you just let yourself go. Like, bro, there's a truth in this world. And we should not be trying to hide that shit. And the way social media works is it wants to make people feel good. And the truth hurts.
And Manu loves all women.
I love all women, bro. Hit me up.
You actually shit. I didn't even think we were going to get this deep into anything. But
because the last time I said it, bro, I said it super blunt. So like,
exactly.
This is what I meant when I said that.
And I honestly don't think you're saying anything wrong. And I think what you're saying is though can get misinterpreted.
Yeah, absolutely can get misinterpreted.
And some people, even if people interpret it perfectly well, they still might not like it.
People will hear that and still disagree with it.
That's a very bold statement.
I think it's hard to hear something like that because you got to switch it around. Yes, now a lot of body positivity now has turned into, hey, if you're big, if you're overweight, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the times have changed because if you think about it, like let's say even like 10, 15 years ago, at a time, skinny was like the thing. So that was being pressed. Everyone had to be skinny. And then you had all these big people who were big and they thought, yo, I look good. Oh my God, I have to look like this skinny white girl that's on TV.
And that's horrible.
So they changed their bodies. That I understand. I feel like a lot of times with the body positivity thing, we try to enforce certain things that should be culturally acceptable rather than just appreciating them in their natural beauty.
And the way I see it, bro, especially with this like new side of body positivity, when everyone's like, yo, like plus size, curvy size, I'm cool with all that, right? Like, dude, plus size woman, beautiful. Like, she got curves, she's gorgeous type of thing, you know what I mean? But there's a limit to it, you know what I mean? Like the same thing with how these skinny women are now thinking, imagine being a 10-year-old, right? You're in great shape and you're like, okay, we'll go back to Lizzo, bro. You see Lizzo on TikTok and you go all through her comments and you see that she's getting all this love and shit. The difference is when it was skinny models, that love was real because women were jealous and people were jealous. Now it's fake love because people want to just social media clout and hype other people up so they can feel better about themselves because of the fact that they're not happy about people looking like that, so they're going to give us some fake love. And then it's just one of those things, bro, whereas if you're a young, impressionable kid and you see that, you want to chase it. And, like, that kind of health standard, bro, like, we shouldn't be setting no body standard. It should be about being healthy, being able to wake up in the morning, being able to walk up your stairs without running out of breath, being able to partake in some...
It's not even a joke, but it's just funny, but it's true.
It's so dangerous, bro. Like, my parents... When they tell me, right, as growing up as an overweight kid that was eating Taco Bell every night type of shit, right, my parents would tell me, bro, it's not the fact that you're overweight, you want to be skinny, it's the fact that it's the health problems that come with it, you know what I mean? Like, my family got high blood pressure that runs in its family, so me being overweight, that just makes it worse. Cholesterol, like, if you have shitty cholesterol, you're not making it past 45, 50. And it's just, like, all those things that come together. And it's like, bro, yeah, body positivity is cool, but, like, are you really willing to make someone feel better if you know actively that what they're doing is going to hurt themselves? Like, not really, bro. Like, it's a truth bomb, but it's got to be said out there. And people don't really like hearing the truth, and that's what makes people mad.
No, yeah, I mean... I have nothing to say that. I feel like you said it perfectly.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, I feel like nowadays people don't really want to hear the truth.
People don't like hearing the truth. I'm the same way, bro. I'd much rather hear something that makes me feel better, but my conscience, my inside,
like with our music, we're not gonna like
exactly.
It's terrible. We're not.
I would much rather be able to show these guys something and have them instantly go, bro, this is so good. This is like some yes man type shit, but I know that that's wrong because at the end of the day, that shit does not help you grow as a human being.
Should we have music positivity?
They should have music positivity, but at the same time,
if there's music positivity, no one's gonna make good music.
At the same time,
what was the
every kind of music
what
is allowed.
What was Chance's new album?
I love my wife.
Remember Kanye just shit on him?
I didn't even think the album was good. It was terrible.
Kanye shit on him.
He loves his wife,
album,
bro.
like,
Chance the Rapper loves his wife. Let's just say that, guys. And
that's
Starbucks.
a good quality to have.
It wasn't good.
You should love your wife.
It wasn't good.
But it's not something you say over a beat, bro.
Nah. I mean,
say it differently.
Come on.
Nah, but Dante, for this podcast, I'm sorry because it's your podcast. I'm gonna try to make it useful.
Nah, you're good.
For I feel like in life, when you're trying to get something, you're trying to get to something, you're trying to get something right.
Right.
You're gonna have to like lose something. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to like you have a normal lifestyle, but if you want to gain something, something has to get put down, type of shit. So what do you think you've been sacrificing that had to have sacrificed to get further in this podcast?
That's wow. That's actually a funny question. Because I've been thinking about what I have to sacrifice.
Right. So that's the question.
Honestly, I'm sacrificing a lot. I wouldn't even say my free time. I think I'm sacrificing a lot of relationships, and I'm gonna eventually end up having to do that. And recently, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm okay with that. You know, I've definitely felt that recently. I've wanted, of course, like I'm young, but right now I'm not gonna lie. I would love to have a relationship right now. I would love to have a female, by my side, while I'm doing this. Like as I come up, have someone exactly, and that's what a lot of people want right now, right? But I think it's a lot harder for me to even get into something like that because recently I realized how freaking focused I am on this.
You gotta put a lot of time into it.
And am I really gonna have the time? Because I've really been thinking about it. It's like, yo, do I want to like be hanging out with my boys all the time, or would I rather be sitting late night working on, getting equipment, just learning from different podcasts and things like that?
Yeah,
that's what I've been doing a lot.
That's what's crazy. Like when we've been making music, it's a lot of times like. Most of our friends who aren't making music with us, they've gotten to accustomed. It's not even like they were annoyed at first, but now like we're like, yeah, we're recording, and they're like, all right, we can't hang out, like because they don't want to come. Well, because we're not gonna hang
We
out.
act like
We're gonna
dickheads in the
record.
studio,
We're
bro.
gonna record. We're not
Like-
gonna. We fight with each other, and they're just like, "Holy shit, what's going on?" But we're not fighting. We're just figuring
It's
shit
just
out.
the process.
It's always like they don't really want to come when
Right.
we're because it's just it's got to be like we sacrifice time with friends, family.
That's the
all stuff
hardest
like that.
thing because I learned sacrifice earlier on because of basketball. I mean, everyone knows like when I was in high school. Aside from like when I got to college, I was much more of a partier. Like I went out and I was,
Yo, Dayton, Dante in high school. I was trying to get this man
I never
to go
went
crazy all the time.
anywhere
I was trying to get him
because
turn
I
all
was
the time.
so focused on hoops. Like that was my life.
Yeah, you should.
If there was
I wish I was.
if there was a party, I was in the gym or I was working out or I was doing something basketball wise. Like my homies always knew it sucked, but I would see my friends like at the end of the summer, and then I would not see them until freaking June.
Dude, that was part of
because
class with you, bro. I saw
playing.
you so much senior years. It was like always basketball.
I'm on my computer looking at film, watch some highlight tapes, looking at plays because that's what I had to do in order for me to be the best that I could be. And now that I'm realizing with this podcast thing,
They're gonna have to do the same exact thing.
exactly.
Yeah? Same
People don't know.
exact
I have a
thing.
lot of just recorded stuff that I have on here where I just talk because the only way that I get better at this and I feel more comfortable with it is you just gotta keep doing it.
Absolutely.
We talk about that.
That goes the same thing
Yeah.
in our music, yo. Like, since me having my computer and having Logic and being able to record, I have like 95, 96 different projects that I've made on it. And 50-60% of those projects is just a random beat that I found, cooked up on it for a little bit, and then now it's just in there.
So half the
And
time we're trying to like
just going through
make
that
music.
and finding stuff, and then we find something, and then it just, dude, J. Cole literally said it the best in Father Let My Hand Go, where he's like, sometimes you just gotta let the beat go and just do a little bit of living, and then you come back on it and you could just figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's just like not even the music, that goes with everything.
No, it's funny because it's like if I'm sitting there, even if we're not with each other, we're trying to make music every single day. It's to a point where like we can tell we all are just here. We're just like we don't right now. Can we
wanna
just
do it
chill?
right
Like
now,
to a
yeah.
point where a lot of times when we link up, I'm about to record. It's like let's chill for an hour, watch something, just talk.
Right.
Instead of being like, what's our vibe for the day? It's more like just
the vibe figures itself
like
out.
when we hang out, it'll all come together and be like, oh,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it works.
Right.
You know,
It's like it's difficult because you're in the mindset where oh my god, I want this to be perfect. Like I just want
that's
to be
that's
great.
one of the hardest parts.
But it's
But you
like
also
the
want to rush
process.
it. Yep.
Exactly.
You don't want to do the process.
My favorite player of all time is Kobe Bryant, and like he's my inspiration. Like, dude is literally my inspiration. I got it tatted on me for a reason. But one thing that I learned from Kobe that I'm really starting to like let it soak in now is that he said you have to be in love with the process. The process is what, at the end of the day, that's what you realize you loved most. Because it's great, the trophies, the accolades, that's all good. But what got you there? And that's something that I always connect things to basketball because that was my life for so long. And I look back at everything that I accomplished my last 2 years at Borough. When I left and it was cool, I made all county and division and stuff. That was fun, but when I look back on it, I'm like, yo, the workouts, man. Waking up early, going to practice, then working out after, then going to hoop at, this park all the way at Madison or going to Newark or anywhere to hoop just to get better. Like, that shit I love because then when I was on the court, it was easy.
Right.
So it's the same thing here. With music, you're constantly just recording stuff. You're constantly being creative, writing.
Even when I'm not recording, where I feel like half the time it's like we're always like listening.
After you make music, bro,
writing
you
shit
listen
down.
to
Your
music
mind is just
differently.
music.
You listen to music differently. I listen to songs and I'm like, nah, this doesn't sound like they should have done this instead. And I listen to songs and I'm like, oh, this like vocal melody in the background is so good and stuff like that. Like, dude, it just opens up your third eye to a whole new thing.
That's exactly what
every
I try to
creative
do.
field that you're in. I bet you feel the same way about listening to Joe Rogan's podcast. You're like, oh, they're doing this here, they're doing this here. You listen to another podcast, you're like, oh, they're doing this differently
so
on
funny
this
you
one.
say that because, to be completely honest with you, I don't really listen to podcasts. I don't.
funny as hell,
I
though.
don't. And it's not because like, oh, yo, how are you gonna learn? No, it's not that. How I get my tone is just for me personally, and I get that from having normal conversations with people because I feel like that's the best way in order to learn how to connect, but also get people to be engaged. If you're actually talking to them, watching people talk for me. all podcasts are so different. If you really think about it, it's like, yo, you're just sitting there talking back and forth, having a real conversation.
Yeah.
But when I look at I watch a lot of TV, I listen to a lot of music, and I watch a lot of movies. Those are the 3 things I do every single day. And the reason being is because I know how much movies and TV connect with culture. And that gives me the ability to truly articulate and see things from a different perspective.
That's like what you just said about all that is exactly how I feel about music.
Right?
Like, it just makes me feel like when people, like, there's song drops and everyone's listening to it, it's just like everyone gets connected. Like, you can meet a kid and it's like I've met people at work, like, doing a job, and they see my tattoo. Oh, you like J. Cole? Instantly, like, then you know, oh yeah, we're boys.
And
like,
you connect with that person,
exactly,
right?
Like, it's like instantly. It's like crazy.
And that's where people
It's just
don't
like
understand.
sports. It's just like anything. You just have something to talk about.
Right, like one of my best boys at school, man, when I was there, my man Matt, shout out Cheese for real. We are huge Lakers fans. And after that, once we found out we were Lakers fans, dude, the amount of shit we had in common. We're both huge Brady fans, Patriots fans. We love the Lakers. We love Drake. Like, but all those things, it's things that we do on our own.
Yeah.
We individually watch the Lakers. We individually listen to this music. But that stuff brings us together. And that's what I love about media. That's what I love about these things that media affects culture just as culture affects media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily know off the top of the head, but it affects you every single day.
Yeah, I mean that's the music I make definitely is influenced by half the shit I watch. Like that's what, like, the things I see on TV. There's countless things that I don't even know but it definitely influences me.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like media is just like nowadays it's like completely different. Like not even like media, just like anyone entertainment wise. It's like now it's like a lifestyle you kind of got to indulge into and like show people because it's like people
Bro, back
like
in the
music.
day of like Big L
Can't
and
have
all
that.
that, it's just music.
Yeah, you didn't see Biggie or like Tupac posting out like, oh, I'm in like here, this, whatever.
Yeah,
now
no.
you see 6ix9ine posting he's on like the block where
it's like time, how you say
It's
it.
a lot of that now with music is the hype
around.
around it. Think of all these artists that are getting
entertainment
big.
around
It's
it,
like
yeah.
they're
It's
not.
like
The
they're
music
not
isn't
that-
good, but they're entertaining the surrounding
their
music. You
image,
want to
bro.
listen to it. It's the
It's
image.
people started listening to Lil
TikTok
Pump not
shit.
because of Lil Pump. Like, I'll go back to
6ix9ine does not make good music. Lil Pump did not make good music.
They listened to him because of the antics he was doing to Instagram,
And they
that's
like
the,
it.
And that's
And
the
it
exact
works.
reason
I
why
mean,
his 22 million followers led him to drop Harvard Dropout and get 20K sales, which is
Yeah.
garbage.
Everyone
I hate
hating
to say, but it's literally like, even if it's fake hype or fake numbers, like, people like the hype behind the person or like the numbers behind the person. Like, they just talk about how Travis Scott got old manager. It was like admitting that he had like
Finessed
fake
the record,
numbers, but
yeah.
it's like, look at him now, dude.
I look at
Everyone
it this
fucking
way.
loves him.
Everyone was hating on 6ix9ine. It's like, yo, stop trolling, bro. All this kind of stuff. If he
Bro,
stops trolling,
he went
he's not
9
gonna make money.
He went
No,
9.
he'll-
He was
yeah.
trolling and went 9 for 9 on the
business.
Billboard charts. Not even getting on the charts. Top single of that week.
Are you listening
9
to
for 9.
Tekashi 6ix9ine if he doesn't have all the antics?
Exactly.
It's
No.
part of his mantra. That's
Part-
what helps
exactly.
him bring in listeners and bring in
I remember
viewers.
hearing Gummo for the first time and being like, this is the most dog shit I've ever seen. I remember seeing the music video for Gummo and I showed it to all my friends and I probably gave it at least 50 views. And then it started playing on the radios and by the end of that week, I was saying, Picky got the stiffy up. Like, bro, come on. Like, it's because of you saw him for the first time and you see this guy just head to toe in tattoos, rainbow
forget.
hair. It's just, the image is just, and that's really what people have to do nowadays because it's not in his music, bro. He's not impressing anyone with his music. He's got to do it with his image. And that's what's Brokkaw is different. We're 3 regular people. We just make really good music, bro. And that's what's going to impress people. It's anytime I tell people I'm a rapper, they're not like, yo.
They're like, they
you don't-
kinda
you don't-
laugh a little.
You don't look like a rapper. You know, but then I show them my music and they're like, holy shit. You're not a rapper. You're a musician. Like, this is crazy.
Right.
That's
Good
all
surprise
it is.
always. That is pretty funny, honestly. A lot of people are always like, oh, you make music, and then you show it to me. And it's, I mean, you kind of know if it's fake or not. I can
Bro, I
tell.
feel that, but I mean, it's a little different for me because like I'm black, so like.
So you got the
I say-
stereotypes.
If I say I'm making music, they're like, oh man, this.
It's like, oh, you and every other
know what
black
I'm
guy's
saying?
making
like,
music.
oh, you a rapper? That's low key. That's the first thing
oh,
they
you
would
rap?
say. So then like,
Like,
the
wow,
first thing
you
I
rap,
do-
huh? That's cool.
Everyone always automatically assumes because I never really say it to people unless they comes up and be like, yo, Dante, you ever make music? I was like, yeah, I make music sometimes. I mean, any song I've ever made has been like an R&B type shit because that's the type of shit I'm into. I love 90s R&B. I like, New Jack Swing, that type of shit. So the songs that I have made have been R&B tracks and they're good. They're good, but everyone has their different sound, but everyone drops what they
fuck with you.
want to drop. That's the thing. You can't drop something just because it's cool. Because I remember back in the day when everyone in Borough was just making music and it all sounded the same because that was just the sound.
That's what I like
that. You
about-
gotta do what you want to do.
I think it's also cool because we all dropped it. Like we all, I think we can all get in the vibe where we can all want to drop the same shit. Like that's what I think. That's why we're pretty good. We're pretty versatile. I'd say we're gonna.
The best part I would say is like Kyle brings a different vibe, Prescott brings a different vibe, I bring a different vibe. Yeah. When all three of those vibes connect and we're like, all right, let's take this thing from mine, this thing from Prescott's, this from Kyle's. That's what makes Brokkaw. It's not just like all three of us get in there and we're like, all right, you do this, I'll do me, you do him, and then we just do it and piece it together. Not like, bro.
Pause.
It's a lot of fighting, telling each other that's.
I said pause. You said you do him. He
like,
yo. What? Threw me the fuck off.
There's a process to it.
It's like when I'm writing my shit, like Quack and Kyle are there being like, nah, don't do this, do this. When Quack's doing his shit, me and Kyle are like, don't do this, do this. When Kyle's doing his shit, me and Quack are like, don't do.
And a lot of times,
it's
always like sometimes I'll be like, nah, I'm fucking doing it, and vice versa. Like they'll say the same shit. A lot of times it fucking works. Like there's just a whole process. It's hard to explain, man. It's crazy. And that's why I like it.
It's just the energy and the vibe. Yo, shit works.
So
there's a reason these boys are my brothers, yo, for real.
So like before we head out, bro, like in the future, what are you guys doing? What kind of projects are you guys gonna be dropping?
Once a month, be prepared for something. And
where
album project that's on the way. That takes time.
Yeah, that's
not dropping
for some singles.
Once a month to keep the fans happy.
This is dropping this week, so if y'all cap it, they gonna know. I'm just saying.
Right? They gonna know.
Just be ready. In March, there's gonna be another single coming out. April, another single, but then. You know, afterwards, we obviously project. But the thing is,
consistency.
There's no point in dropping something that's a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 work of art if no one's gonna listen to it.
Yeah, man.
Like, there's a reason the first track we drop is something we made over a year ago. It's good, but it ain't nearly as good as what we're capable of now.
It takes time. One thing I love is the creative process that everyone goes through.
Yeah.
You know, just everything that we do as creators, because even we're all entertainers at the end of the day, but we're all creators. You know, we all have to use our minds in order to create the best product that we can.
Yep.
And man, I just love the process that goes into this podcasting thing and this media shit. And you guys with music, I've been part of it too, so I understand how fun it is, and just the end product is amazing. But the show's not over because we gotta play that new single, No More. So stay tuned. I'm gonna have that queued up for y'all. But this is a great episode. Shout out Brokkaw for real. I appreciate y'all coming on the show.
Go follow Instagram, Brokkaw, BROKKAW. Let's get that shit.
It's been a long time coming too, man. It's been a long time coming. I'm trying to get these.
We've been on the court.
Forever.
It's like you break my ankles and shit, but I haven't get on the podcast though.
Everybody wants to be on the No Cap podcast, but thank you to all the listeners, and new episodes coming soon, baby. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace.
That's how we moving, that's for sure. Baby, shut your mouth, just keep it close. I ain't even feel the way you roll. No more, let's go. I feel the way we vibing, that's for sure. But I ain't got no time, I gotta go. I need the money, I don't need no hope. No more, no more. To the function with some demons. No, that's how we move, that's how we scheming. She don't even try to keep it poppin' no more. So I don't even mean that bitch shopping no more, no more. Oh no, you done fucked up. Switch your sides on all my bros. In the club we turned up. You know you gon' lose your hoe. In my crib she burnt up, so I kicked her to the door. No more.
Are you gonna ride? Yeah, do you know the vibes? The party ain't the lie. Let's make some moves aside. Are you what you decide? You know I really like how one came inside. You said turn off the lights.
Smooth as how we moving, that's for sure. Baby, shut your mouth, just keep it close. I ain't even feel the way you roll. No more, let's go. I feel the way we vibing, that's for sure. But I ain't got no time, I gotta go. I need the money, I don't need no hoe. No more, no more.
No more, no more. I don't need no more. I don't need I need the dough, but I don't need I need the dough, yeah.
Smooth as how we moving, that's for sure. Baby, shut your mouth, just keep it close. I ain't even feel the way you roll. No more, let's go. I feel the way we vibing, that's for sure. But I ain't got no time, I gotta go. I need the money, I don't need no hoe. No more.